Thornbridge Manor, the Carlisle family's home for countless generations. The Revenant Alexa Carlisle and her 3 adult children, younger brother Zachary, grandson, and daughter-in-law, are all gathered to conduct Carlisle's sham funeral. Curiously, Carlisle summoned a famous London PI soon after arriving this morning, but his purpose at Thornbridge is yet unclear. Now, the target knows that you're coming, and her guard detail is top-notch. So Mr. Gray will secure their nearby field HQ and intercept all calls going in and out of the estate. Any appeal for backup is going to fall on very deaf ears. Good luck, gentlemen.
This is a private area, sir.
Phineas Whitmer, private investigator.
Really sorry for the inconvenience, but this area is restricted due to increased security. Thank you.
Phineas Whitmer, private investigator. I have an appointment with Madame Carlisle. Please wait.
Mr. Whitmer is here to see Madame Carlisle. You can go right in.
That is Phineas Whitmer, the famous private investigator hired by Madame Carlisle this morning. I'm curious why he's here. Maybe you should do some detecting yourself, 47. A famous private investigator summoned by Alexa Carlisle has arrived at Thornbridge Manor. If you take his place, it may be an opportunity to get close to Madame Carlisle.
inside the house, unseen. Don't worry about that.
stupid video games, never any romance. I deserve romance.
What a marriage. Splendid dynamics between the two. Loaded with conflict, unsaid fears and desires. I could just stare all day.
Bad news, I'm afraid. We don't have any extra.
That would mean...
Ethel looks everywhere.
Nah, too early to conclude.
No power, no force.
Carlisle will be furious. She expects the fact. The photos to be done any moment now.
I need to have it, okay? And I need it to be perfect.
You strike me as independent and self-sufficient. Taking a break where the family might see you.
Sure. I'll finish
Perhaps
setting
you're
up
also
and go
perceptive.
rapidly just before you call
Tell me
out
the
the
first odd thing that comes to mind when you think of the last 24 hours.
Let me think.
First thing, don't think.
Okay.
Well, I'm sure I left 20 quid in my locker, but when I came in this morning, it was only a $5.
Nope, not perceptive at all. Muddy prints from high heels. Expensive. Size 6.
If you're dressed like a Detective 47, you might as well act the detective. I suggest you go talk to the butler.
Gregory, don't say more to that weird detective than you need to.
Mr. Whitmer, are you ready to inspect the crime scene now?
I am.
Very well. If you'll follow me, sir. I feel obliged to point out that current affairs surrounding Madame Carlisle are of a delicate nature. You may be familiar with the recent announcement of her death. You will probably learn that a staged funeral is scheduled to take place tomorrow. Madame's children were not informed until this morning that their mother was in fact not dead at all. So please bear with them if they seem affected
How are you
by
today,
the rather
sir?
unusual situation. I trust I do not need to remind you that there will be consequences if word gets out that Madame Carlisle is still alive.
I'll consider her dead when I leave.
Before you inspect the crime scene, I will tell you this. The case concerns the death of Mr. Zachary, Madame Carlisle's younger brother. He was found dead in his bed this morning. The door was locked from the inside, and a suicide letter was found in his room. However, Madame Carlisle suspects foul play and will not accept that he took his own life. I've prepared some information for you, So please do come and see me when you've finished your investigation of the crime scene. This is Mr. Zachary's room. To my right.
A locked room murder mystery, 47. I trust you'll get to the bottom of this. Why don't you use your camera to scan the dead body, 47?
Throat markings indicate a rare, short-lived plant poison killed it. Spread shows time of death at around 10 o'clock last night.
You do know your poisons, 47. Zachary was shopping for new Wellingtons last night. Not exactly what you would expect from someone suicidal. Zachary's suicide note. Also, a sample of handwriting. It could be relevant to compare to other samples to establish its authenticity.
A hidden door.
It's a secret passage. This could explain how the door was locked from the inside. A photocopy of the floor plans. Somebody's been researching the secret ins and outs of Thornbridge Manor. I believe you've done a thorough search of the crime scene, 47. Maybe it's time to see the butler. I'm curious about the information he's prepared for you.
Mr. Fernsby, I'm done with the crime scene.
Did you establish a time of death?
Zachary died around 10 o'clock last night.
Well, that means the staff were off duty. And Madame Carlisle and her security didn't arrive until this morning. That leaves Madame's family and myself as the only persons here when he died. And before you ask, no, I do not have an alibi. I was alone in my office at the time of death. Here's the material that I prepared for you. It's a list of the possible suspects and their quarters. Hopefully that will help you keep track of your findings. Please come and see me when you've solved the case, and I will take you to Madame Carlisle.
Rebecca Carlisle, can you tell me about yesterday evening?
We don't really see much of each other, my brothers and I. I suppose it takes our mother's funeral to bring us together, and even then, it's not like we sit on each other's laps. Now, let's see. Patrick, Gregory's son, disappeared straight after dinner. You know, I think he might be in some sort of trouble. Edward wanted to go as well, but Gregory convinced him to stay for a few drinks before they went off for a pint at the local at 9:15. I swear Gregory enjoys Edward's discomfort overstaying here. I had a conference call with my New York office at 9, so I spent 3 hours on my laptop in my room and went straight to bed afterwards. I don't know about Emma. She did act a bit strange. You know, I bet she was making lists for changes needing to be done once she gets her hands on Thornbridge Manor. Quite the shock she had when Mother arrived during breakfast. Is there anything else you want to ask me?
Oh, stop pacing, for God's sake, Emma.
But why don't we get any kind of explanation? It's bloody rude, that's what it is. Making us come here to play. Go on, like nothing.
Gotta dig this place. Ancestral graveyard, trophy room, and the office safe is hidden behind the portrait.
Yep, yeah, it's impressive, all right.
A safe in Madame Carlisle's office. I bet that's where she keeps the file on Arthur Edwards. Good work, 47. That's the file on Arthur Edwards secured. Time to take care of Madame Carlisle.
How are you today, sir?
Sir.
Anything to report?
Everything is as expected.
Sir.
Anything to report?
Everything is as expected.
Gregory Carlisle, can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
Oh, you're wondering about my alibi, Mr. Detective. Well, I left Thornbridge around 8:30 for a pint with Edward. I wish I hadn't. Quiz night at the inn. On the other hand, staying here with Zachary, my obnoxious sister, and the wife sporting another one of her headaches would have been a fate worse than death. The short of it, Zachary was very much alive when we left. I stayed for the last shout, and I was back here just before midnight. Is that all? Not very thorough, are you?
What did you
look
think of
tanned.
Zachary?
Creepy as
I
hell.
bet Mother spent the
No
last week at her
ambition.
Cyprus
Imagine
estate.
deciding
Am I
to
right?
live
I'm
in a
not at
museum.
liberty to say, ma'am.
Oh, come
You know,
on.
Father says Zachary and Alexei
need
used to
to
be
know
two of
what's
a kind.
going on.
He had a great future
affects
ahead
me
of him.
too,
Then
you know.
suddenly, he just gave up everything.
What an idiot.
Thank God Daddy chose looks and brains over pedigree when he married Mummy. I don't have to worry about the inbreeding so customary in these circles. If that's all, I think I'll get back to my slow death, but... by boredom.
Oh, hi, Martin. Rebecca.
Why waste away in front of the books when he can play like that? That music makes my heart soar.
Quite the poet. But you're right. It's beautiful.
That's a little too close.
Professor Edward Carlisle, can you tell me your whereabouts for last night?
Oh, yes, this dreadful business with Zachary. I stay at the local inn. You see, I prefer not to spend the night here at Thornbridge Manor. My brother Gregory came along for a nightcap. He'll never admit it, but I think he understands that I find this whole thing upsetting and wanted to provide some comfort. I believe we went to the Stag's Head around 8:30. If that's all, I have a speech to write.
Did you see anything suspicious last night?
No. I reckon Zachary topped himself. I know I would have. Or perhaps Mr. Fernsby. I don't like him. He could have done it.
I suppose you'll need a new name for your afterlife. How about Rotten Bridge? Or Belinda Braveheart? No, I like that last one.
Mission complete. Well done, 47.
Secretary on the visual, sir. Oh my God! Come on, how do you read me? Over. Someone. We gotta go! Follow me! It's not safe here.
Yeah, got it.
Madam Carlisle wants to inspect the arrangements for the staged funeral tomorrow. What's the delay?
It's the birds. They're making a racket everywhere. The undertaker is gone. Right there. But I left the birds. Oh, no, my thanks for everyone. It's way too early, so keep ready for Madam.
They called all of you in today. I've never seen so many gardeners here at the same time.
Yes, there's so much to do before the funeral.
They're everywhere. Go, get out! It's the Constantine. Shit!